Hey guys, welcome back to Lost Legend TV. We are Ready to MC. I'm Ray.
I'm Jones.
This is going to be a spoiler review for the fan film Friday the 13th Vengeance. The whole premises of it is this is a direct sequel to Part 6. So Part 7, 8, 9, 10.
And Freddy vs. Jason never happened.
It's not canon in this. So
I do want to commend them for having people like CJ Graham and Shane Dash in the movie. You know what I mean? I honestly didn't think Dash was going to be in the movie as much as it was. I thought it was going to be a little small part, and he was in the film 4 or 5 times for at least probably about 10 minutes worth of runtime.
it surprised me they got them both. And the CJ Graham playing as Elias Voorhees, Jason's dad. I thought it was a cool story to implement because it was bound to happen sooner or later, you know. But the movie starts out, and that's the first thing you see is Elias going to the grave site of Pam and Jason. Of course, Jason's not in there. And then Jason awakes from the water from the end of Part 6. And cinematically, the film is fucking awesome. Jason looks good. Mm-hmm. Even the guy who played Jason, it looks like a more decayed Part 6, which I really, really liked.
Mm-hmm. And then some of the kills in the movie are really good, you know. There's a kill where he just decapitates this girl on her fucking car window.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite kill for real.
Where he chopped that dude's head off. Not even completely chopped it off from the neck or anything. He chopped the top part of the man's head off. That was really dope. That might have been my favorite. And then where he did the bottle kill, he grabbed that bottle and shot it through the dude's throat, that was amazing. Honestly, the movie was not bad, but it did not have great acting.
No, it didn't have spectacular acting in it.
There was a woman who I'm assuming at least was a porn star. I don't know. I've never seen her. But she was literally there, and she didn't say much at all. And she was just wearing a little skimpy-ass shirt, and she was basically just there to have sex.
Throughout the whole movie, you see her, and not the front on the woman.
Yeah.
She's there just to see her titties.
Yeah, that's basically.
Really,
that's what they really put her in there for. Some of the kills I had a problem with. You know what I mean?
Some of them was unrealistic.
Yeah, there was one part where he grabbed 2 people who were in a tent. And I get that he's strong. He was dragging the tent. And he did the kind of sleeping bag kill, but I don't think it would have done as much damage as they showed. And there was one part where the girl, just basically there to show her titties and shit. She's making out with a girl, which I saw coming, and he stabbed him through the back, but there's not a mark on their back or anything. He gets squirted with something, but there's no blood anywhere. That was kind of weird to me.
And we had talked about that while watching the film. There's a lot of good kills here, creative kills. But the simple kills, it's just they overlooked. Mm-hmm. You know, you could afford this special effect. You know, because he pulls that fucking guy's head off and the spine comes
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They went crazy for that.
You can't put a little blood on the back? I mean, come on, you know?
There were a ton of fucking kills in this movie. More than any of the other ones by itself, honestly. At least I think so. Hell, there was one girl who was just in the movie to get killed. She wasn't even part of the story at all. It wasn't it wasn't like she was at the beginning. She wasn't talking to any of the characters. They literally just cut to this girl in a tent by herself, looking at the camera, dancing, stripping, and listening to music, and Jason just shows up and kills her.
Word.
For real. Something else I don't understand is, you remember that girl at the very beginning? When we were talking about it, because she was old dude said she was high, so he couldn't fuck with her or whatever, but he was there getting high. Nothing happens to her. Jason kills everybody else at that camp, which was 4 people, and
leaves her there.
Didn't even look at her. Yes, she was fucking stoned out of her mind or whatever, but and then she freaks out. They're doing ambulance work on her, but he didn't touch her. But she's not in the rest of the fucking movie. What was it they made me think okay, she's gonna be part of it. She's gonna help the Jarvis girls and shit. Which, by the way, the protagonist is supposed to be Tommy Jarvis' daughter. And another big problem I had with this movie is they kept talking about Tommy Jarvis, but not once showed the man.
Yeah, man, they hyped him up so much, and like you was sitting there waiting for like a final confrontation, but it just never fucking happened, man.
And something else that we talked about was the movie started off really well. I mean, like I said, it wasn't great, but it started off good. And then it got to one point where for about 20 minutes or so, they just sat there and they were talking about backstories. Like I feel like it should be something they should have started off towards the beginning with, and not halfway through the movie.
Yeah, and they do that. It's like spot it out through the movie as well. They'll put a throwback in, and that's another thing that I really didn't like about the movie. Like you said, the script was kind of all over the place. Mm-hmm. There was there was a main focus, but they try to incorporate too much stuff at once. Yeah. I mean, you had like 9 to 10 different underlying stories going on at one time. It was just really hard to focus on what was actually happening.
So Angelica is the older daughter, and she's trying to find Tommy Jarvis. And she calls one of her friends, and he calls this group of people who are like the daughters and sons of people who either survived or were attacked by Jason, so that they had the understories of that. And some of their stuff pissed me off. For one, there was only like 2 dudes in the group, and one of them was so determined to fight Jason. He brought weapons and everything. And yet this one dude stole the truck, and like they had to use like axes and stuff like that. Yeah. But there was a scene where he's sitting there and he's kind of perving on these 2 people trying to have sex in the water. But he hears Jason. He turns around. He sees Jason. And I'm expecting a fight. They cut to the couple. They're talking about this and that and the other. And then he gets out. And then it cuts back to old dude just being murdered. Yeah. There was no fight. Like, I mean, at least show me him talking shit, trying to do something. It literally cut back to him just...
That's another thing that was hyped up and never happened. I really believe if you cut a lot of this minute stuff out of the script and focused on, hey, these are traumatized people from the past, their families, and they want to go find this motherfucker who killed their family, you could have had an awesome ending.
One of the girls was the daughter of Jenny, the girl who survived in part 2. Right? Yeah. And Jason comes up on her, and she tries to do the same thing her mom did with, like, Jason, this is your mother talking, and try to use the mom technique. But instead of just, like, doing, like, a normal kill, he, like, he, like, smashes her head in, but, like, he goes way too much into it, and I don't see that as something that Jason does. I mean, I was thinking about it, like, in Freddy vs. Jason, he does stab that dude several fucking times, but it didn't kill him.
You're talking about
the bed kill. You know what I mean?
The overdramatic.
Yeah. But he did not kill the man with that. What killed him was when he folded the bed. Okay, this bitch was dead. He smashed her in the fucking head. Okay?
It's like Jason was pissed off.
Exactly. And they never really explained why. Like, he even paused for a second and hit her again. Like, I mean, it doesn't show her head or anything, but, like, he clearly just went overkill. And also, another, like I said, the overkill, there was too many fucking kills. At one point, Jason killed like 12 prisoners.
Yeah, this Jason don't shy away from breaking out in the fucking daylight, dark time. That's another thing I didn't like about the film. There was 2, and that sounds odd coming from like a horror fans, and you had 2 ghost tour groups at once. You had this scene with prison guards.
And prisoners.
And you had these one-off kills, but there was just too much kills.
But, like, some of them were just, like, random. And, like, I get it. Jason would kill people and shit like that. But, like, normally it has something to do with people going towards the lake or even having sex in general. Like, a couple of them, did have sex or whatever. But, like, there was one part, even though it had a great kill, where 2 girls were just in a car that was stalled. Yeah. And as soon as the car starts up, he kills the first girl and then cuts the other girl's head off with, like, the window and shit. And that's cool and everything, but, like, it doesn't add to the story anymore.
Yeah, it don't contribute to the story. Like, they're literally just there for the kill.
It's like I said, it's not a bad movie. It wasn't terrible, but it dragged on towards the end, and like the story really is kind of all over the place to me. I mean, I think IMDb gave it like a 6.8 out of 10. I don't even know if I'd go that high.
I probably wouldn't.
But I mean, it's not like the worst film I've seen. You know what I mean? It's not, but there's a lot of things you could tell that they should have went back and looked at or tried to fix.
Yeah.
You know, some of the acting seemed forced, like they were trying to like get some of the stuff.
Yeah, it was really forced. What about that scene they recreated? You want to touch on that? That was
a really good. Like they basically recreated the opening scene of the original Friday the 13th scene.
And guys, it was spot on. I mean, I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, it was great. Like they did everything. They did the little, the counselor singing "Kumbaya" and everything. They even like recreated the actual dialogue, what they were saying and everything. And then
even the outfits in the room.
Yeah, it looked exactly the same. It was perfect. The only thing that brought it down for me was they made it seem like Elias was the one who killed them, which then kind of disregards the first movie in a way, because what was Pamela doing there then?
Yeah. Well, like I said, the Elias story was bound to happen. I mean, there's plenty of fan theories out there that say that the opening scene to part 2 wasn't really Jason. It was Elias who went and killed Alice. Which, I guess, if you did incorporate that, it would make sense. And also, Steve Dash's character is the sheriff in the town, and they incorporate him into the story as he was the one who was supposed to watch Jason, but he was too busy fucking this other girl while he drowned.
Yeah.
And Elias comes, and that's another thing I don't understand about Elias. Elias goes on his own fucking killing spree looking for Jason, but when he finds Jason stabs the motherfucker. And then the cliffhanger at the very end, at the post-credit scene, is them two standing by the campfire like everything's all right.
Yeah, like I was saying, it just didn't make that much sense. And that's the thing. Jason is a fucking killer. There's been times where he like spares children and stuff like that. I guess I understand that. You know what I mean? Maybe he has like an age limit where he kills people or whatever. Literally, like he stabbed Angelica, right? Mm-hmm. Like Angelica's sister and her sister's friend, who I don't even know if she had a name, honestly, because I didn't catch it. They're like sitting over her and they're like, leave her alone. And then Jason just looks at him and then walks away. And
well, see, that's actually the part that I like. Like Jason was kind of confused because Elias told him, "Hey, kill these bunch of fucking kids," and Jason's like, Dad,
Yeah.
Like he was thoroughly confused for a second, and he takes his mask off, and Jason makes his facial expression almost like he's still a kid at heart. You know what I'm saying? And like I know a lot of people won't like that, but it brings the substance back to like he's really partial to his mom. Why would he not be partial to his dad? But then he just stabs the motherfucker randomly, and like I said, the cliffhanger was them. Like Elias, perfectly okay back at the campfire. I mean, I can understand having a cliffhanger at the end of the film, but it didn't make any fucking sense.
I was saying, it was like the story was just really all over the place. Like
for me, the first half of the film was pretty strong. There was too many kills. There was about 3 times Jason just goes on a goddamn rampage, killing motherfuckers.
Yeah,
which that's all right. I would probably say one of those scenes towards the end,
Which one?
Like just if you're about to run through 12 motherfuckers, let's say if Jason got his rage mode on, right?
Yeah.
He just ran through the motherfuckers and then you have the final battle. And I was really rooting for the guy. There's this guy who's writing a book about everything. He stupidly hides in this, under this boat. Mm-hmm. And Jason's stabbing the thing, of course the first shot missed, but there's like a light beaming through. Cinematically, that was really awesome. But then he just fucking dies. Yeah,
because you thought that Angelica was gonna come through and save him and shit.
Yeah,
and she never shows up.
Nope.
And that's the thing. There wasn't even really a final battle because she jumped on him and everything, and she attacked him a little bit, but then he stabbed her, and that was it. Like she was pretty much done. Like she didn't die, but.
Yeah, see, like when I thought Elias showed up finally and Jason had, their bondage or whatever the fuck chemistry they have, And, like, when it first began, it was really good. Like, this is what you've been waiting for. Because throughout the movie, you see Elias killing motherfuckers, Jason killing motherfuckers. When they finally meet, you're like, hey, what's going to go on? And then it just abruptly ends, you know?
Yeah.
I really believe if they would have built on that and they would have had a little bit better writing, you could have went really far. Because they lead you to believe that Elias is supernatural. They mentioned in the film that he has like 3 death certificates throughout different counties. And like I said, at the end, Jason stabs Elias with this, what was it?
Was it a spear?
Yeah, like this fucking spear. And one thing I did like about that is Elias pulls himself with the fucking spear to talk to Jason, you know, like a father.
Face.
Which that was badass. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the film, again, he's fine and they're sitting at the campfire, and then that's it.
Yeah.
There's a few plot holes that needs to be fixing, but it's not a bad film.
No. I wouldn't rank it as high as IMDb did, but I mean, it wasn't terrible.
It's better than your average fan film.
Yeah.
I give you that. It had creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the direction they went with the story, trying to incorporate Elias and how he was there from the very beginning. Right. They didn't capitalize on it, and like I said, throughout the movie, you can't focus on the main focal point because you have all this random shit happening.
Mm-hmm. Like, it was literally like some people were just there so they could be murdered. You know what I mean? And I get that happens in horror movies and shit, but most of the time it's like that's a group of people who are trying to get away at least, so they have something. So you're like, okay, is this person going to get away? I didn't really feel like most of them were going to get away, dude. Like, from the jump, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to die.
Yeah.
Like, we called that shit. Like, old buddy that had the bat, I knew he was going to die.
Yeah.
Like, the moment he went off in the woods by himself, like, yeah, he was drunk too. I mean, was fucking dead.
You know, every now and then you'll come across a film that you're kind of rooting for all the characters. Like, you don't want them to die. Mm-hmm. Like, you want Jason to kill motherfuckers, but at the same time, you can get behind the characters. But this, you can tell there was just, the first time you look at them, there's very disposable characters. Mm-hmm. You know, there was a few mistakes. There was some unrealistic kills, like we mentioned. There's this one scene where there's a close-up of Jason. You can clearly see there's mesh behind the eyes.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. And there was one part, like, at the very beginning where the old buddy that we do was laying on the ground and he was freaking out, but you can't see Jason at all. And then Jason, like, standing over him with a boulder and And
that's another thing. Like, if Jason has the fucking strength to lift that bitch up, why couldn't he do that in the water? Everything's lighter in water. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that I thought about while watching the film. Another thing I like that they did, they went back to the original locations.
Yeah.
The original cemetery.
Yeah.
Steve Dash is sheriff of, how do you pronounce it? Wessex?
Wessex, I think. It's Wessex.
Wessex County. And, like, you see, like, Wessex County police station. Yeah, it was really cool. Steve Dash gets killed by Elias.
But they don't show it.
Yeah.
They just, hint at it.
I imagine, like, because, Steve Dash died right after this film. I mean, had to been, because he died recently.
Yeah.
So, he probably couldn't have afforded to do any kind of stunt or anything like that,
Yeah, that's true.
But overall, if I had to rank it, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. 5 being not bad. This is better than your average fan film movie. It's well done. Cinematically, it's fucking great. That's the best thing about the film is the cinematics. The script, it needs a lot of fine-tuning.
I'd probably go like 5.7, honestly. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't really bad at all. But the things that I didn't like, I really didn't like. Like, it kind of just, like, took me out of the film. Like I said, like we both said, like, it started off great.
It did. Started off.
Started going into it good, and then it got to a point where it just kind of just dropped.
And it really does do that. Like, it elevates so high, and you're like, fuck yeah, and then throughout the entire movie, it slowly goes downhill. But, guys, it's not a bad film.
It's not. If you don't want to check it out, y'all should check it out. It's
been 10 years since we saw, an actual Jason film. This will get you by for a while, It's something to talk about.
That's going to be the video for us, y'all. If there's anything else y'all want us to check out, react to, let us know. Also, since we got the chance to talk about it right now, we should let people know, our schedules for, like, us doing videos and stuff. Ray works pretty much every day but Sunday.
I do.
And my schedule is random. Like, I don't know when I'm going to have an off day. But he's also the guy who edits. So, basically, our only window to do stuff is, like, on Sundays. So, we do everything we can on that day or so. Like, just depending on when we get the actual chance to get together and work on stuff. So, it takes us a while to get the stuff done. But don't think that we're, like, just ignoring your requests.
You know, like, when we do these videos, like, it's probably, 11 right now? But we normally do these videos here 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, or sometimes like 10 o'clock at night if I get off early. So it's very hard to find the time for us to do this. But when we can, we do this.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we'll have to do 4 or 5 videos at a time.
Yeah.
You know? So we do apologize if we seem really tired. But, I mean, that's just us pulling long hours and having to come here. I mean, we do enjoy this. It's just, like I said, it's really hard for us to consistently do it. But we really do what we can. We really do appreciate you guys watching.
That's why, like, some of the videos come out longer than you'd think they would. You know, like I said, he'll do a video and I'll do it, and we're just, like, trying to get through it. Like I said, still leave requests or whatever for anything. Let us know what you want us to see. And until next time, guys, we'll see y'all.
Adios.
What a slam. Bring us back to you, grouch. Just my crew just might roll on you like